Now, property stocks in Hong Kong also rose today as the housing market there continues to hot up. By contrast, property here in the UK seems to be cooling down. A report from Halifax today adds to the body of opinion starting to show a universal slow in prices. Well, October's monthly figures delivered only a slight respite from a dramatic fall in September. And on a quarterly basis, average house prices dropped more than 1%. Well, Martin Ellis joins me now. He is an economist at Halifax. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. Taking a look at this overall, while prices are up on the year, quarterly, we are seeing a slowdown.
We are. We've been seeing that for the last 6 months. And if we look at the last 3 months, so 3 months to October, prices slightly down, about 1% lower than they were in the previous 3 months. So that's been continuing this gentle downward trend that we've been seeing in recent months.
Now, after 2008, there did seem to be a big shrink, a contraction in supply. Nobody wanted to put their house on the market. Is supply increasing now? Is this a new reality?
I think it probably is, yes. So that was certainly very much the story of what was happening during 2009. There was a general lack of properties available for sale. Demand did pick up, and that was pushing prices up. But things have now sort of gone into reverse. We're seeing more people putting their properties back onto the market. I think really on the back of the increase in prices which they'd seen, they were more confident, felt, yeah, I'm going to get a better price for my property. But by doing that, they've actually relieved a lot of that upward pressure on prices. We've also seen a bit more uncertainty, so demand's not been quite as strong. People concerned about a lot of the negative talk we've had about the economy, general concern about whether or not their job's still going to be there in a few months' time. So that's meant that people, in that circumstance, people not looking at buying houses. But of course we have had some much better economic news out last week when we had those stronger GDP figures. So it's possible that could actually cause demand to strengthen a little bit.
Now, one of the other issues has been people, of course, borrowing. How easy is it for people to get mortgages?
Well, it's a lot harder than it was a few years ago, certainly a lot harder than it was back in 2007. And we've seen a large part of sort of mortgage lending industry has actually disappeared. A lot of the overseas players in the market have gone away. A lot of the specialist lenders are no longer there, so a large chunk of the market is no longer present. But we are the largest mortgage lender. We're still lending, but there has been a tightening in mortgage lending criteria on the back of the financial crisis. And things are getting a little bit easier, but it's only a little bit. So things are quite tight for a lot of people.
Now, in the past, there has been a sort of surge in property prices in, say, central London because a weak pound had been encouraging people from overseas. Are we still seeing regional trends happening, and are we still seeing trends happening to do with what price the property is?
There's still some regional trends, but this sort of slowdown we're seeing is really quite widespread, and a lot of it is now right across the UK, and also at that sort of top end of the London market, which has been helped in the recent past by those factors you're talking about, overseas demand, the weakness of the pound. They're not as strong as they were, so there's been a general cooling down, and it's fairly widespread across the various segments of the market as well.
And the big question, what's the outlook?
We think the outlook is we're going to see a sort of a stabilisation. We don't think this is the start of a sustained, sharp decline in house prices. A large part of the reason for thinking that is that really we've got very low interest rates, and we think interest rates are set to remain very low. Obviously, we get an update on that at noon today. But against that background, it does help the affordability position. Homeowners have seen a big improvement in affordability of housing, and we think the economic recovery is going to continue, and that will be good news for potential house buyers.